stuck in nostalgia like me. I wanna know.
All right. So, gonna speak about another encounter, scary situation I had while carrying a gun. This is actually the last thing that happened, and it's this one sucks. I mean, they all do, but this one is just aggravating. So, in this story, I had my friend with me. He was driving, um, and he's a good buddy of mine. Um, and you probably have one of those friends that might be a little more accepting to, you know, uh, accept a physical fight. Okay, that's who I'm with. He's not a bully at all. He's not that kind of guy. But if someone brings um, beef his way, he's willing to handle it right then and there. That's his person. Um, and that's just if someone starts it. He never starts trouble. He's a nice guy actually, but that's who he is. So anyhow, um, this is a trip. This happened 1 week out of the hospital. So, as many of you know, I had cancer, and I had pancreatic cancer. So, June 30th, I had the Whipple procedure. Whipple procedure. They cut me open and they cut the cancer out. No chemo or radiation because chemo and radiation can't kill the kind of cancer I had. Um, Pancreatic cancer is actually has the lowest survival rate. Um, Survival rate's 8%. So it's a very difficult time in my life and my family's life. Um, so I'm here. Actually, um, beating the cancer and going through what I went through is the cause of me starting whammy. So anyhow, I get out. I'm in the hospital after the surgery. It's a 9-hour surgery. 2 days later, they had to do another surgery, and that was about 5 hours. And then I stayed in the hospital for 14 days, and then went home, and I'm open still. When I say I'm open, they, like I said, they cut my stomach open, and so I have wound openings that are like this, okay, like this wide and this long, and about that deep. I mean, as deep as you can go before you get to the guts. And I had two of them. One here, one here. Was wide open on both sides. I probably still have pictures, if any of you want to see it. I got videos too. Anyhow, and so they sent me home that way. Okay, so I'm at home in the bed, and I have to get my bandages changed twice a day. Saline and patches, and oh man, I was going through it. Um, and So 1 week out of the hospital, I decided, okay, I started working my health up to being able to walk a little longer. And so, yeah, about a week out, I go, you know what? I want to go live. I want to go out. I want to connect with my friends and be out in the world. I want my body and my subconscious mind to think, hey, he's living still. He's ready to go. He's not laying over and dying. So let's do our part, and come on, sales, get to work. That's my mentality. Is if I go out and I'm alive and I'm doing things and I'm out in the world, that my body will know, okay, we got to kick things into gear and get healthy fast. So, um, so literally the eighth day, 8 days after I got out of the hospital, I got in my truck and I drove to my buddy's house. And they're, they're like, "What are you doing out of bed? You're crazy. Go back home and lay down. You're crazy." And I'm like, "Man, leave me alone. Just let me live." So, um, me and my buddy, I got in his car. We drove to one of his other homes there, real estate. And so after he leaves, we leave that house. We're driving, and going to go get something to eat, and then go back home. So as we're driving, we're coming up on a light. Light is red, but then it turns green as we're approaching it. So we're moving forward into it, and a car comes flying through, right? Flying through the light. Clearly, he just ran a red light, like clearly. Like our light was green for like 3 seconds, okay, and then he comes flying through. And so we're like, oh my goodness! Like imagine if we would have been, you know, 30 feet forward. Um, I would have been. I was already open. I really would have been messed up. And so we drive up the hill and we see the driver that ran the red light. And so my buddy, he rolled down the window, and we were gonna let the guy know, in case he was just unaware, because I've ran a red light. I've actually got in an argument with someone before. My buddy Floyd, where I ran a red light. It's like, you ran a red light, and I'm like, no, I didn't. He's like, yes, you did. No, I didn't. And it's just sometimes you can get in the zone, just autopilot, and you just make a mistake. We're human. So we pulled up, and we're 2 lanes over. Our lane is actually to go straight. The car that we're coming up on that ran this red light, they're going to turn left. But we're all at a red light at this point. And so we kind of stopped shy of the light because we want to let them know, like, hey, man, be careful. So, and it was all out of love. And so he rolled down his window, and he goes, roll down your window. And he rolled down his window, and my buddy goes, hey, man, you got to be careful, man. Down back there, you ran a red light. This guy goes, fuck you, nigger. So it's just me and my buddy. There's 3 guys in that car. And yeah, there were 3 Caucasians, and that sucked. When I hear that word, my heart skips a beat. It's not. We don't take it lightly. I don't know any black guy that does take it lightly, or a black woman. And it's crazy. I mean, we were literally like being very cool about it. We didn't say, hey, man, are you crazy? It wasn't like, we were understandable. We almost kind of laughed at it, like, man, he was probably having so much fun because the sun was out. It was summertime, and I'm like, he's probably having so much fun he didn't even see it. So rolling my, hey, man, be careful. You know what I'm saying? You ran a red light back there, buddy. Fuck you, nigger. Whoa. So when he says that, my buddy immediately goes into, well, let's settle this, mode. This is that that friend, and he's going, who the fuck are you talking to? I'm not gonna say all the words, but there's cursing going back and forth here at this point. Now I'm looking over in the car. I see 3 guys. There's 2 of us. I can't fight right now. You can step on my toe, and I'm going down. I mean, I'm a week out of the hospital after getting the Whipple procedure. That's the biggest, most complicated procedure done in this state. Okay, not a triple bypass, none of that. The Whipple procedure. So I'm wide open. I can't fight. I wouldn't want to fight anyway, but I really I can't fight. I can't do anything. This is a problem that I don't want to deal with, and we didn't want to deal with it anyway. But this guy's being a jackass. So they're having their little back and forth thing here, and I go, you know what, man, just go on, just go on. He's a piece of shit. And so my buddy gave him a few more words, told him about himself. Um, and my buddy actually, he told him, he was, hey, pull over. We can get out the car and duke it out right now. And that's when like I said, I'm behind him. Hey, it's not worth it. Let's just go. They're low lives. And sure enough, during this conversation these guys are having, and not conversation, a yelling match really. Once I finally get my buddy calmed down, and he kind of looks at me and he's shaking his head like he's just pissed off. The guy reaches over, opens his glove compartment. We're looking at him do this. He reaches over and opens his glove compartment and pulls something out. Everything's changed at this point. Okay? Everything's changed. In my mind, you just grabbed a gun. You're a piece of shit. You disrespected us. You're a prejudiced jackass. Running red lights. You're a punk. Now you're reaching to grab a gun. There's two of us and three of you, and you're reaching to grab a gun. Well, when he reached to grab his gun, naturally, I grabbed my gun. My gun's on me. And so my buddy also carries. Okay, so he can still carries also. When that guy reached over there, my buddy reaches and pulls his gun. Okay, and he doesn't keep one in the chamber. And he racked it. Me, I then actually grab my the knob on the seat so that it leans back. I can't do anything here. In my mind now, I'm going, okay, if this guy starts shooting at us or I need to shoot at them, I can't do that because my buddy's taking up this whole space of this window. So I leaned back, all the way back, so that I could actually look out the back window. Mind you, I'm wide open here, okay? But I leaned back, and now I have the gun. I'm not pointing it out the window, but I have it down here. They can't see I have anything. The same way we can't see his actual gun. We just seen his motion. We do the same thing. He can't see that we have a gun, but I think he can kind of tell by our motion that we then just reacted to his action. Okay? So I'm leaning back. I have my gun here, and I'm really looking in the eyes of the passenger and the guy in the back. And the passenger wants no parts of what's happening right now. Okay? He's not even making eye contact. He's looking down, and he's nervous. He's scared. They probably not even friends anymore. I mean, seriously. The guy in the back seat looked a little different. He looked like, he was ready to, fight if need be, but he kind of had a look on his face like, my friend's a jackass. I don't agree with what he did, but he's my friend. I'm going to back him up. That's what I'm seeing from this guy in the back seat. Okay. So at this point, you know, guns are ready, guns are drawn out, and this isn't like the last story. I had one in the pipe, you know. And so my friend is saying now, you know, hey, what do you, what's up? You know, what do you want to do now? You're threatening me with a gun. I just seen you reach in there and grab a gun. You know, what's going on? I'm running a red light. You could have ran into me. I'm a nigger, and now you want to shoot me. So what's going on? What's up? You know, that's what's going on between my buddy and this guy. And actually, the guy, I think he's seen from our actions that we both had a gun, and he stopped. Now he has stopped being the tough guy. He's not Mr. Tough Guy anymore. See, what it is in his mind, he has a gun in his car. Okay, he's probably a new carrier, and in his mind, if I got a gun, then I'm top shit. I'm big stuff, right? So when he reached over to the glove compartment, he thought that was gonna scare us. You know, he's a big. I got a gun. Yeah. No. So when he realized, oh shit, both of them have a gun. Okay, then it got real, and you seen his vision kind of go forward, and yeah, the light's still red, and he's looking forward, and now it's like he's shut it off now. I'm looking at the whole car and I'm going, okay, they shut down. He's scared. He's punking out. And that's a good thing. Let's just get out of this. My buddy's so mad, rightfully so, but he's so mad that when our light turned green, theirs is still red. Our light ends up turning green, and I'm going, go, go. And he's so mad, he's like, no, no, fuck this guy. And I'm like, what do you want to get in a shootout? You know, this isn't, none of this is smart. You're angry, and I get it. I am too. But at this point, it's just dumb now. You know, not only that, we're at the biggest, one of the largest, you know, four-way intersections in the city. You know, there's cameras everywhere. You know, and just let's be smart and just go. It took him a minute to hear me to really, you know, calm down. When I say a minute, not an actual minute, you know, maybe 15 seconds. Our light had been green for like 10, 15 seconds. Okay. And finally, I'm going, it's not the right call. Go. That's literally what I said to him. And he said, forget it. And he drives forward. And after we, you know, leave from that situation, he began to calm down and start thinking a lot more rational, you know. And he thanked me a couple of times, you know, saying, hey, you know, if it wasn't for you, ain't no telling what would have happened. You know, that wasn't a good situation at all. You know, we weren't in the wrong, but to stay there and fight against that is just not, it's not smart. It's not smart. Okay, he's wrong. That guy was wrong. He's a jackass, but it's not right. So, yeah, they ended up. We went straight, but then, you know, made a U-turn, and to go to the store, this corner store, and the guys turned and he punched it. Is how I know he was scared, because when he seen us look like we might have been coming back towards them, maybe he might have been thinking, he punched it. You know, he floored it. Okay, he was in a sporty car. I don't remember what it was, but he freaking floored it. And so that's what that was that story. And you know, I'm glad that nothing happened of that, because like I said, you know, I'm wide open. Um, you know, you look at me the wrong way and I might fall down. I mean, I can't fight. I can't do anything, you know, and absolutely don't need to be in a gunfight. Nobody does. But it was more or less a thing of pride, being disrespected beyond measure. That's the worst thing you can call a brother is a nigger. You know, you call him that, and be ready to fight or or die. Honestly, you know, just being serious. I know some guys that are willing to take it all the way for being called that. You know, it's a very, you guys know. I mean, it's bad. You know, it's not. It's a fucked up word, and it's deep. You know, it's not just like being called a punk or a pussy. It's something else, and there's people willing to go to jail, go to prison over things like that. You know, so anyhow, that was that one. That was the last one I've been in. And listen, uh, God willing, I never again in my life have to pull my gun out um, due to the ignorance of another person. I've had my fair share. I've had too many situations already, okay, in my life. A lot of them before I even was able to carry a gun, you know, as a teenager. Um, so, um, boy, a lot of stories coming. But anyway, that's that. And I still got a few more. Unfortunately, I still got a few more. I got a few more when I didn't have a gun on me. But you know, this is kind of cool in a way that you know, you guys, some of you guys have been through something, you know, and don't be afraid to post it up there, tell your story, because we can all learn from each other's stories. You know, is a big reason why I'm doing this is that we learn from it. You know, if there is a mistake in there in the future, you know, if you come in this situation, what to and not to do. But be aware because, you know, without awareness, a weapon is pointless. All right. Talk to you guys later.